Deep in the heart of Texas tonight, we're at Globe Life Field, ready for the Rays and the Rangers Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV+. Two hot hitters. First for the Rays, the youngster Junior Caminero, and the veteran, the postseason hero from 2 years ago, Adolis Garcia for the Rangers. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Dontrell Willis. Heidi Watney joins us shortly. Let's face it, the headline around baseball the last week, the Dodgers may not lose a game this year, but these two teams, D-Train, are sneaking up on the pack.
Well, it starts and ends on the mound as the resident pitcher, so you know I'm going to side with that. Both teams have solid starting pitching and firepower in the back end to shut you down. Should be a good one tonight.
You're right. Both pitching staffs going well right now. Let's focus on hitters. Let's focus on the Rangers, who are off to a 5-2 start. Top of their order is their strength, but not yet. I mean, how do you get Corey Seager and Marcus Semien going?
Very important, and they're going to be just fine. It's a lot of ball game left, but I love what Seager does. He can cover the left-handed pitcher and the right-handed pitcher, and he jumps on the first pitch, and he hits it with authority. He's a captain, and he's a presence, and when he's healthy, this offense goes. So it's very important to keep him healthy in this offense. And then his counterpart, Marcus Semien, my Oaktown brother, love to see him hunt the fastball early. He's been missing that early, but if he gets his timing down as a table setter and a power department guy, he's going to be a factor. That's why both these guys signed big-time contracts, and they have not let the Texas Rangers down.
Yeah, that boatload of money they spent on these two guys, they hit the jackpot. Look at this since they arrived in 22. They are the best double play combination by far in every offensive category.
They're athletic, they are strong, and they love playing together, and so they're fun to watch, and they play with joy, and that's why they get a spark for the Texas Rangers.
The Rays, of course, are such a good story every year in baseball. They do more with less. And if you take a look at their roster right now, they're 4-2. You go back to when the Rangers beat them in the 23 postseason. Look at the change in roster, but they've used via trades, getting young players who are pretty good. This is not a bad lineup at all. This could be a postseason lineup.
It should be a postseason lineup. They're athletic, they are hungry, and they like being overlooked, as Kevin Cash said. But Junior Caminero is one of the best players, and he will be one of the best players in all of baseball. His bat speed is lightning fast, some of the best hands in all of baseball. He's a cornerstone guy. He's athletic defensively as well, and he has a flair for the dramatics. 5 of his 7 career home runs have come on the road, so he's not afraid to play with his back against the wall, but with his size and his power, he's going to be a star for sure.
He is one of the blossoming stars in all of Major League Baseball, and with more on him, let's go down to Heidi Watney. Heidi?
Yeah, Rich, Rays manager Kevin Cash told me that Junior Caminero has that it factor. Big smile, loves to play the game, incredibly talented. It doesn't hurt that he got to rub elbows with Albert Pujols for a month playing winter ball in the Dominican, where he hit a home run in the championship game, and that bat flip still hasn't come down. The Rays are hoping that Caminero develops in the big leagues the way that we've seen from other young players. Take a look at this list of the top 6 prospects entering last season. There's some pretty good names on that list. It includes 2 Rangers players, 2023 postseason breakout star Evan Carter. He's back in AAA after being limited by a back injury last year, but Bruce Bochy said he just needs to get his timing and swing right so he can come back up and help the big league club. We'll see Caminero and Wyatt Langford in there tonight. Caminero making friends with the littlest Rays players. We'll have lineups and first pitch from this one right after this quick break.
Closed and ready to go for the Rays and the Rangers. Let's go down to Heidi Watney with a certain middle infielder for the Rangers.
Yeah, here with Marcus Semien, you are Mr. Consistency. You're first in games played in all of baseball since 2019. You're third in position player WAR in that span of time. Why is it so important for you to post every day?
I'm not that good to not play every day and put up numbers. You know, I want to play every day and put up as many numbers as I can, score as many runs as I can, and help our team win.
Rangers are a dark horse to get back to the World Series this year. What makes this team a playoff team?
Well, our offense is better. You know, I think that we're going to put up a lot more runs. Our bullpen's better. We got a good team. We all like each other, and we're ready to go.
All right, thanks, Marcus.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. And away he goes. Nobody plays more games in Major League Baseball than this guy. Every inning, every game, it seems, every season.
Well, it's his calling card. He prides himself on it. He's a workhorse, and he understands his relationship with his ball club, with his coaching staff, and his manager. And he's a scary guy when he's locked in.
You know, another reason there's optimism is the rotation right now for the Rangers. Tyler Mahle is part of that rotation. He's making a long road back from Tommy John surgery and shoulder injuries. They're counting on him to be part of this rotation.
Absolutely, and he was outstanding in spring training with a 3.7 ERA and 5 starts, but his last start was a little shaky, walked 4 batters in just 2 innings pitched, so they're looking for him to add a little more depth. I know he's only thrown 40 innings over the last couple seasons, so it's very important for him to get strike one and get into this arsenal that we're about to look in today. But the 4-seam has to play at the top of the zone. He likes to go north and south. The split finger is, to me, his best pitch, his out pitch, and that nasty whooper duper has to play to be able to change eye level and keep the hitters off balance. But I just want to see him be able to get through the lineup once and with the game intact and get some rhythm and some mound presence as well.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud shows you the arsenal and the lineup that he's going to face for the Rays, who come in at 4-2. They're not scoring a lot of runs, but they're pitching well. Yandy Diaz, of course, in the leadoff spot. Brandon Lau is hot. Junior Caminero is hot. Other bats, not so much. Aranda, Morel. Cameron Meisner is a masher. He is fun to watch. Danny Jansen behind the plate. Taylor Walls so good defensively. And from the Dodgers, a name you're going to hear a lot of is Johnny DeLuca in the 9 spot. Diaz, who has elite bat-to-ball skills and a batting title on his resume. In fact, he beat Corey Seager out for that.
On the last day.
Last day. We'll lead things off. This is a 3-game series. Game 1 here in Texas. Mahle against Diaz with Lau and Caminero to follow.
He is wasting no time, and I understand the aggression. He's hunting the fastball up in the zone. He is not a petite fillet. He's a big man, so he's trying to get on the board early and often.
Mahle with a breaking ball, and he's out in front at 0-2. You know, the Rays have had trouble against Texas, but not this guy. Diaz, 339 average. Starling Marte is the best. Justin Turner's on that list. And that's the elevated fastball. Great spin rate, and it's higher than you think coming in.
We talked about north and south. That's very critical for him, but he had to get ahead first to be able to expand that zone. Now, you're only seeing 90 to 91, but because the spin rate, it's playing a lot faster. It's playing like it's mid-90s fastball, so very important for him to be able to expand the zone, but it starts with strike one.
And you know what? It's playing like it's, I know this sounds like a Prince song, it's playing like it's 2021. And I'll explain. That was Mahle's best year.
Right.
And he was terrific that year with the Reds. 13-6, 3.75. All his measurables match up now to 2021, now that he's gone through the Tommy John, now that he's gone through the shoulder issues. Same spin rate, and the velo topped out right around 93 in his first start. Brandon Lau, a couple home runs.
Yeah, very important for him to neutralize the left-handed batter, but you saw how he tried to start Lau, the change-up away, but Lau does a good job of not offering that and putting himself and hitting for the counts.
Better high strike. Lau certainly likes the new digs, right? Steinbrenner Fields. exact dimensions of Yankee Stadium. That's the temporary home of the Rays, and he's homered twice to start the year.
I like that sequence right there. Went with a backdoor cutter. Loud hunting the fastball. Recognized mid-flight, tried to slow his swing up to try to find that barrel. So Mahle doing a good job of fighting back right into the count to give himself a chance.
Mahle's 3-2.
Oh! Looked like a changeup right there. Check that baseball. It's not supposed to move like that, Richie Rich. That was excellent.
Well, he does throw a splitter, but at that velo, let's take a look.
The depth change is what got Lau out in front. He's recognizing a fastball, hunting that head down through the baseball, and the ball just drops out of the hitting zone.
Both of these starting pitchers are not guys that live in the high 90s. They live in the low 90s. Here is Caminero.
And there's nothing wrong with living in lower floors as long as the building is nice. There's nothing wrong with it. Execution will be key tonight.
You can see he's off to a pretty good start at 318. Hasn't homered yet. And the scouting report, when you open it up on this guy, it starts and ends with bat speed. He has elite bat speed. Sitting on a 2-0 here. Just underway. The Rays and the Rangers. That's 94. It's 3-0. I mean, look, this is just like the Rays. They identify a young player in the minor league somewhere that they think they see something, and they go get him. Hey! Catches the outside corner.
When you look about it, his body type, his size, his plate coverage. Obviously, we're talking about the hand speed, but pitch recognition is key. He's already ahead of his time. And that's the second time that Mahle's on a good changeup behind in the count and being able to land it, putting another inkling in the hitter's mind to try to slow him down.
Mahle's 3-2.
Good take.
And Caminero is on board. Jonathan Aranda, the hitter now for the Rays. 4-2 are the Rays, and their offense just enough to get them those 4 wins. The pitching has been terrific. Kevin Cash talked about his starting rotation, and he was glowing when talking about his bullpen and how they have been so far this year.
They always had firepower and different looks. They feed off each other in the back end of that bullpen, and whenever a Rays team is successful, they're able to get leads early and shut them down. And credit to Kevin Cash. He's always been the mainstay over there to keep that locker room loose and keep that locker room believing that they can be successful in the daunting AL East.
Aranda now the 26-year-old. Perceived velocity is something that shows up with a guy like Mahle.
Yes, because you spin the ball so the ball stays true through the zone, and so a hitter's eyes is waiting for that ball to come down a tick so you can barrel it up.
That's in. One thing to watch tonight, and it's probably not in play here with Aranda at first. The Rays will run, and Texas was miserable last year at containing the running game. The teams have run on them this year. Checked his swing.
The majority of that, though, is the pitchers need to learn how to hold the runners a little bit better. Vary their times, vary their looks. Give the catcher a chance to be able to throw the runner out.
Aranda takes high. It is Caminero at first base. Aranda 5 of 12 to open with 4 doubles. Obviously now Caminero will be on the way. Runner goes. Will pop up out of play.
Well, this we talked about, Mahle, about the free passes. You have 2 outs right now. Nothing burns a manager's britches more when you get 2 outs and all of a sudden now you elongate the inning by allowing free passes. And so that's the key to be able to continue to finish innings.
You could see the caught stealing issues last year and this year. Mahle another 3-2. Foul back. Control was an issue for Mahle. It really shortened his last start against Boston. An inning and 2/3. 4 walks. If you watch the game, he wasn't missing by much. But Bruce Bochy, once he got to 61 pitches, said that's enough. Caminero on the way. Aranda fouls it back.
That's a good pitch right there. Backdoor cutter down in the zone. He's going to lean on that pitch to try to steal some strikes.
Worked a lot on his split in the offseason. It's a great compliment to that 4-seam fastball that stays up. Mixes in a slider. Caminero away again. Little looper in the corner. Garcia is there, and he makes the catch. Doesn't always have the best of range, but he got there and made the play. And a scoreless first. Onto the bottom of the first. Deep in the heart of Texas. Fined by the front office of the Rays.
1,000%. They converted him from a reliever to a starter last year. Only a walk rate of 4.7. That was 8th in the American League last year. One of the Rays' best players.
Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford. Fastball for a strike. That's a pitch that the Rays, when they first got him, said, hey, don't throw that so much. He really changed his repertoire. Went slider heavy with a split and a sinker. In the air to right, it's Meisner out there. With the roof closed, this ballpark plays to the pitcher's advantage. Here's the Rangers lineup. We talked about the issues up top, but Seager against the Rays has had some nice games. Wyatt Langford swinging the bat right well. Jock Peterson, a veteran in the cleanup spot. Garcia off to a good start. Jake Burgers at first. Josh Smith at third. New catcher in the organization, Higashioka in that 8th spot. Little tapper. And off the mound, Littell. And it wasn't pretty, but he got it there.
Richie Rich, you see me throw the first a lot. It is not pretty. I had this shot put that. That's actually a very difficult play. You're so used to getting your arms speeding fast through the zone to throw strikes. All of a sudden, you're trying to hold yourself up. Littell, you got to move your feet a little more just to get some momentum in the first, but through that little shot put changeup down, one hopper, still an out.
Not sure what that looks like on StatCast. Here's Langford now.
We don't care what it looks like as long as he's making a right turn instead of a left turn.
Langford just 23, and of course only 47 games in the minor leagues before jumping into the big leagues.
A lot of promise, a lot of praise. Bruce Bochy had nothing but great things to say about this young man. True strength and power all over the diamond, and an elite athlete.
Langford, liner, right to Lau. Zach Littell, nice first inning. On to the second, scoreless in Texas. In part by DQ, the official treat of MLB. Happy tastes good. And in part by Dove, whole body DO, 72-hour odor control, plus skincare everywhere. In Texas, in the second, Christopher Morel in the box. Tyler Mahle to the plate. And it's 0-1. Cameron Meisner. Danny Jansen will follow for the Rays, who aren't scoring a whole lot of runs, 4 runs a game. They've only hit 3 home runs so far in their 6 games. That ball is smacked to center. Taveras is back at the track, and he makes the catch. That's a ball with the roof open. May have been out. Let's check in with Heidi Watney. He's got more on the Rangers rotation.
Yeah, the Rangers rotation could be a strong point, but outside of Nathan Eovaldi, the other starters combined for just 70 2/3 innings last year, and that rotation has already taken a hit today as the Rangers put Jack Leiter on the IL with a blister. Leiter went 5 scoreless innings against the Reds on Wednesday. He had to come out early with that blister bothering him. Patrick Corbin has been called up to take his place. I talked to Chris Young. He said Leiter looked really sharp this year, but managing workload is something that they're going to do with all of their starters. With spot starts and day off, they plan on giving everyone in their rotation 5 days between starts in the early going.
All right, thank you, Heidi. Meisner now the hitter, especially with Jacob deGrom. They will be careful. He'll get off days when they can, because he has looked terrific just in what you saw at the end of spring and his first start.
Well, the velocity's back, and so you can tell by the confidence he's cutting the ball loose. And so the last part of overcoming injury is from the neck up, that you believe that your stuff will come back. And so it's very important for him.
Meisner pops it into right center. And Taveras is there, and he makes the catch.
And now you're talking about Jacob deGrom, the elder statesman that's overcome a lot of adversity, and so he's got to lead this cast that has a lot of talent, that has a lot of firepower, but there's uncertainty with health with everybody in that rotation. It's unfortunate that Leiter went down, because he's one of those guys that could be a catalyst, and he's going to be the future of this rotation.
Well, and don't forget, there's 2 pillars in that rotation, especially if deGrom stays healthy, as Danny Jansen stands in with 2 outs. We're scoreless here, Rays and Rangers. And that's Nathan Eovaldi, who has looked like Cy Young his first 2 times out.
He always looks like Cy Young when he's healthy. You know. They don't call him Nasty Nate for no reason. I mean, he has strength and arm speed, and the split finger is harder than my fastball, which is obnoxious to watch. But that's what you talk about when you come from Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and so they're definitely going to lean on him. Not only just on the mound, but for leadership as well.
Now, this is a good sign. Just watching Mahle work here. A pair of strikeouts in the first, a couple fly ball outs here in the second.
Very important for him to compete within the strike zone.
And that's the thing he talked about. People equate stuff with high velocity, huge break. But if he's got the spin rate on that fastball, and if he's hitting this marks with his splitter, to me that's stuff. And he said, I can live with that. I can get outs with that.
Especially how athletic this defense is behind him and his ballpark as well. Very important for him just to be able to be healthy. Him and DeGrom are in the same boat.
Liner to right. Garcia again to his left. He's there and he makes the catch. Wow, that's 21 2/3 scoreless innings right now from the Rangers rotation. And the anchor of that rotation joins us when we get back. Nathan Eovaldi. He's Nathan Eovaldi, and man, his career has been really fun to see. All the evolutions, all the change, and man, all he does is win right now. As a Texas Ranger, he joins us now. Hi, Nathan. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing?
That's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And your pitching staff right now, especially your starters, everybody looks good. Everybody looks, well, now that Jack's got the blister, he's on the IL, but so far so good, right?
Yeah, he was throwing the ball really well too. It's unfortunate that we lost him, but again, it's going to be one of those minor stints, so he'll be back.
Nate, I mean, I got a chance to meet with Bruce Bochy, and he had nothing but great things to say about you. They said we were common in the sense of we never have a bad day, especially when we come to the ballpark. How is it playing under Bruce Bochy, a Hall of Fame manager?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, he keeps it real nice and easy in there, and again, it's great having a manager like him, and then also Mike Maddox, who just walked up over here. But you know, when I'm out there on the mountain and stuff, leaving us in the games and giving us those opportunity to go deep.
Heidi Watney is with us as well, as the Rangers and the Rays open up this 3-game series. Little roller out towards second, and Lau to first.
Nate, Kevin Cash told me that he's glad they don't have to face you. What's it like getting praise from an opposing manager like that?
I miss those matchups, going over there facing the Rays. It's always good, though. I mean, I enjoy being over there with Cash, and he's another manager that keeps it really light in the clubhouse and stuff, and the guy's got a lot of respect for. But, I mean, it's big praise for sure.
Adolis Garcia takes a strike.
Nate, I heard that you even watch your teammates' bullpen. Is that something that evolved in you to kind of take the reins as more of a leadership position?
I mean, we had guys in.
That's deep. DeLuca's there.
We had guys that would do that in the minor leagues. You know, when I was coming up with the Dodgers, Kershaw was always big on it, and you know, I think it all started from there. I've kind of done it everywhere I've been, every organization. I'll go out there and I'll watch the bullpen, and sometimes they'll say some things that, you know, might help me out, and then other times I can, you know, it's having another set of eyes out there who can help watch. And you know, that starting staff, you got 5 main guys, right? And I mean, if we can keep everybody going and rolling on the same page, you know, a lot of special things can happen for us. And you know, obviously we can go deeper in the ball games and save the bullpen and give us better chances to win the ball games.
Jake Berger is up right now. Nate Eovaldi is with us. So, look, there's 2 starting pitchers from your hometown of Alvin, Texas. It's you and Nolan Ryan. Now that you're a Ranger and throughout your career, how much communication did you have with him?
Not much, honestly. When I was in high school, you know, I had my first Tommy John my junior year, and he had a big role in helping me go out there and you know, have the right doctors and be able to take care of myself. And I didn't get the opportunity to meet him until I want to say it was like 2016 when I was with the Yankees. And honestly, I haven't had much contact. I mean, I got to meet him a couple times last year when he was in town, but I mean, every time I get that honor to, you know, interact with him, it's always an honor.
Yeah,
very special for me.
Worked out for both of you so far, huh?
It has. It has.
All right. Nate, thanks for the visit, buddy.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
On to the 3rd. We're scoreless here. With the Apple Sports app, get real-time scores, play-by-play, straight to your iPhone lock screen, fast and simple. Download the Apple Sports app for free on the App Store today. On a Friday night in Texas, Rays and Rangers both off to good starts. The Rays at 4-2, 5-2 are the Rangers. Tyler Mahle against Taylor Walls, 8-9-1. And that fastball misses up. Rays don't have a hit. Rangers don't have a hit. Mahle struck out 2, walked 1. Walls' hip injury in 23 may have hurt him at the plate last year. His average dipped below 200. And he rolls this one out to Simeon. That's out number 1.
Malley doing a good job of throwing that changeup down to the left-handed batter. So that's something when we talked about his splits, he has to be able to land that pitch to get the outer half of that plate, get some soft contact on the ground, and avoid having counts go 5 or 6 pitches, because that's how you get out of the game quickly.
Remember, the Rangers' last 2 wins were 1-0 wins in Cincinnati. And so that scoreless streak now stretches to 22 innings for the staff. That's both starters and relievers. A check swing, and it just trickles foul. Adrian Johnson, the crew chief, down there at first. There's Adrian.
No.
Got Brian Walsh behind the plate. Quinn Walcott out at second. Ramon DeJesus is at third base.
Adrian been around since I've been pitching. Talking about balk. I said, you don't leave me alone.
You?
Shocker, right? Shocker. Love this kid's game. Johnny DeLuca had a chance to work with him when he was in the Dodger organization. He's from Los Angeles, went to Oregon, but fun to watch.
There's a look at the crew working this Friday night opener here. Yeah, DeLuca's, again, one of the guys that the Rays identified as in someone else's minor league system, projected them in their system with their instruction, their data, and they really like him. And I mean, the speed, he's got power, hasn't shown yet at the big league level.
Good route runner in the outfield as well.
Turns on that, pulls it foul.
I told him in A-ball, I said, man, you're a major leaguer, and he kind of looked at me, and Johnny DeLuca's a very quiet guy, very humble guy, and so when he got to the big leagues with the Dodgers and gave me a big hug, I said, I need 2 tickets behind home plate. Please don't put me in the third deck. Don't treat your brother D-Train like that.
Liner right to third. Josh Smith is there. And DeLuca will allow out number 2 here in the 3rd inning. Yandy Diaz, top of the order, coming up.
DeLuca's in the head of a changeup. We talked about it earlier in the ball game. This defense is athletic. When they're healthy, they can go get the baseball. We've already seen it early in this ball game, some really good plays being made. And so if you're Malley, you have to be able to keep those guys on their toes and get in the dugout as quick as possible.
Strike to Diaz. That's the thing about this Rangers defense. You know, you look at the analytics, and they're pretty good. They're not outstanding, but they're pretty good. And they get better when Josh Young is at third base. And that's no knock against Smith, who plays all over the place, even the outfield.
Well, Swift, every team, every championship caliber team needs a Smith that you can plug anywhere in the outfield, in the infield, especially when the guy's banged up or somebody needs a day off.
That's a base hit. Diaz rolls it into left field. A 2-out single here in the 3rd. And let's check in with Heidi. She's got more on the young Ranger third baseman who's on the IL.
Yeah, I talked to Josh Young before the game today. He said he had a pinched nerve in his neck. It kind of was traveling down his arm a little bit. He's been getting treatment. He said he's hoping that it's just the minimum time that he is on the IL. He's hoping to be back soon. He was going to go do baseball activities this afternoon, so he is progressing.
Well, that's good news.
You know what? As much as I'm, good friends with Marcus Semien, Josh Young is somebody that's really important to this future of this organization. When he's in the lineup, you want to talk about a power threat and somebody that's a true corner position player, meaning power and defense. Got to have him.
Lau on 2 hops. Semien on to first. And Malley through 3 looks sharp. Scoreless here in Texas.
Tonight's odds brought to you by BetMGM. Take a look at the odds to win the AL pennant. The Rangers have been seen as a dark horse to have a bounce-back year with ace Jacob deGrom back. And Chris Young told me that while the rotation is good, this offense was built to be one of the top 5, if not top 10 in the league. He said it just has to get going. He said Marcus Semien, Jake Burger are notoriously slow starters. He said Corey Seager's been dealing with a strained calf, but they are confident their offense will heat up soon. Rich?
Yeah, and that's the good news is they're winning games, Heidi, without scoring 7-8 runs a game.
Well, you know Jake Burger, that was a heck of a pickup. You want to talk about underrated as far as a guy that can hit 30 home runs in the lineup, and you got him batting 5th, 6th. And so you get Garcia going, the top of the lineup, the dogs as well. This is going to turn into a lineup that's very daunting and very difficult to navigate.
Bottom third of the order here for the Rangers. Their first look at Zach Littell, and a liner into left field. And Josh Smith opens the inning with a hit.
Nice piece of hitting by Smith.
Texas Rangers last 6 seasons. You know, 2023, 90-72, World Championship. The one variable in there is not the bats, it's the arms. The starting rotation in 2023 had an ERA of under 4. They were 7th in Major League Baseball. All those other years, they were not as close as 20 and above in terms of their ERA rank.
Well, the lifeblood of this organization is offense, but when you're able to shut down the opposition, it takes a lot of pressure off that offense, and then you pair that with timely hitting and good defense. That's how you end up with a parade.
Littell throws it away, and Smith's on his way to second base.
But Taylor's getting that ball away from him, just trying to go over there, but wasn't even trying to pick him off. He was just trying to get a glance to see where he was as far as Smith, the runner, and the ball just sailed away from him.
The Rays are a team that win the margins, whether it's in the fields, whether it's at the plate, on the bases. And they've put a runner at second with nobody out here. Littell, liner, left field. That's a fair ball. The chalk flies, and Smith around third will score. Kyle Higashioka in the 8 spots.
I tell you what, he had a monster year last year with the Padres, hitting 18 home runs. Bruce Bochy raved about him in the manager meeting. He's a sneaky bat, especially you put him down in the bottom of the order. He can call games, he can receive pitches, but he can also provide some thump to be able to show that he can turn over the lineup. A nice piece of hitting, and now the Rangers, the home team, are up 1-0.
Corners are in for a possible bunt. Leody Taveras not bunting.
Ball.
And he'll take in. Littell cruising through 2. A couple hits to open the third. Outfield playing towards left center. Corner's still in. There's the bunt, and he pops it foul.
It's the little things in the game of baseball. Can't give away free passes. Can't have miscues, runners on. They come back to bite you, and that's exactly what happened.
Taveras 3 for 19 to start the season. Roller up the middle, into center field. That's a hit. And here comes Higashioka. He'll score 3 straight hits and 2 runs for the Rangers.
Took off the bunt sign and told Taveras, we're going to give you 1 shot at this, and he got a ball that was up. This is the second pitch that was up in the zone. The hitter can see the whole baseball, gets on top of it, and he trusts his speed to hit it right back up the box. And Kyle never stopped running. As soon as he saw that contact, took a wide turn, and now they're up 2-0. Yeah, I've been there.
Littell, after a mound visit from Kyle Snyder, the great pitching coach of the Rays, now gets the top of the order. Semien, Seager, and Langford. 3 hitters, 3 hits, 2 runs. Taveras does have speed at first base. And he's running on the first pitch. And he's got the bag.
Wasted no time. It was almost like he had a walking lead. Used that. Littell never gave him a look. Chin the pocket. Getting his foot down.
Semien now with the count 1-0. Fly to right his first time up. Bruce Bochy, in talking about his second baseman, said every year he's been here, you start to talk about what's wrong with Marcus. And then as soon as you say that, he busts out for 3 hits and he's back to his old self. Runner goes, big jump, and the throw goes down the left field line. Terrific play by Walls to cut it off. And you've got to, it's like a game of Twister at third base as they both pick themselves off the field. I think the crowd thought that Caminero kept him from going to the plate, but Walls made an outstanding play to keep him there.
Well, Tavares went over Caminero's head, so he's just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, he's going to claim interference, but not interference.
Well, great heads-up play by Walls, vacating and backing up that throw. Almost kind of looks like a basketball foul where nobody wants to, give away that they're tying each other up.
It's a good no call. Infield in. And Semien fouls it off with a cut at a 3-0 pitch. Doesn't get much easier for Littell after this. Seager, and then Langford, and then Peterson. Even though Semien is 3 for 27 to start the season, and Seager is 3 for 18.
But this is a hitting situation that the hitter's looking his chops, saying the infield's in. I got to get something up.
Infield in. 2 runs across. Tavares at third. Littell with 3-2 to Semien. Little roller at third, and it's foul. Ted Barrett joins us now, powered by Zoom, former Major League umpire. That tangle at third base, no harm, no foul?
Yeah, they actually did call obstruction. Great call by the third base umpire. But then you want to award what you think would have happened. Left fielder backing the play up. He would have been thrown out at home plate easily. So you award him third base.
So obstruction was called, but since Walls had the ball about 20 feet away, you leave the runner at third base.
Well, it's a judgment call. You know what I mean? And so that's why you have leadership and crew chiefs, umpire crew, when they come into the ball game. And so I agree with the call 1,000%.
Semien battling. Littell. Another ground ball. Another replay. Now, Ted, say the ball gets by Walls. Obviously, it's a different story, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If the umpire judges that he would have made home plate, then he'll award him home. This is a type B obstruction.
Type B.
The type B obstruction.
I like it.
Not as bad as the type A.
Wow. And Caminero, to his credit, though, to me, you know what I mean, and I'm on the fence about it, it didn't look like he was really trying to obstruct him. He just felt somebody going on the top of his head, and he's like, what's going on here? Because he thinks he doesn't have the vantage point until he looks back and sees that wall behind him.
10th pitch coming. This is a terrific battle between Littell and Semien. Runner at third. Infield is still in. Liner in the center field. That's a base hit. That's the third run for the Rangers.
Excellent at bat by Marcus Semien, and that's the type of at bat that really can get somebody going. He did an excellent job of fouling off good pitches, and when you're getting grinded down as a pitcher, all of a sudden you figure, hey, let me try to pay the piper and beat him with the fastball, because Littell was throwing him a changeup, throwing him a slider. This is a good fastball, down and away. He keeps his head down through the baseball, doesn't try to do too much, gets him an RBI.
Seager into right field. Semien around second, on his way to third. Meisner's throw is cut, and the Rangers bats have their wake-up call.
Second time through the lineup. The big dogs are starting to eat right now as far as hunting the pitches that they know they can drive. This is another good split finger, but the problem is it's pulled to the inner half and so forth. Corey Seager can get the barrel to it and get it through the hole. And as soon as Marcus Semien sees it through the hole, he's thinking 3 the whole time. He never broke stride. I love that base running, turned around and saw where the right fielder was.
Littell retired the first 6. The next 5 have hits. At the corners, Langford fouls it.
Langford tried to leave Earth.
Yeah. Langford lined to second back in the first. Jock Peterson's on deck. That's drilled. Left center. DeLuca diving makes the catch. Johnny DeLuca tagging and scoring is Semien. And as you said, he is a great route runner with a terrific jump. And that's the first out, but the 4th run for Texas.
I tell you what did I tell you earlier in that ball game? His jump, his anticipation, eyes through the ball. And he really didn't have to dive for this baseball, but you're seeing the range right now from this young man, and that's why they know he's going to be the complete pair once that power starts to come, but the bat-to-ball skills and the speed is all there.
On the ground to second, Lau gets it out there. Wall's pivot is in time, and the Rays get a double play. Not before the Rangers get 4 to open the scoring in Texas.
Every time you knock down, get up. Every time you knock down, get up.
It's time for a Sage manager interview with Bruce Bochy. Tyler Mahle looking good, gave up just the 1 hit. He did have a long layoff here. What are you looking for him?
You know, the biggest thing with him is just those strikes. His last outing, he had trouble finding the strike zone. First inning, threw a lot of pitches, but bounced back very well these last 2 innings. So, hey, we got a 4-run lead, so let's pound the strike zone.
Kyle Higashioka got the scoring started. What does he bring to this team?
You know, he's a winner. You know, he's a clutch hitter. Does a great job with the pitching staff. Good receiver. You know, he's a leader in that clubhouse. We're excited to have him.
Thanks, Boch.
You got it, Heidi.
4-run lead. Pound the strike zone.
You have to do it. Easier said than done, because now all of a sudden you don't want to give these runs back, and that's the mentality as a pitcher. But very important to have shutdown innings to keep the momentum in your dugout.
You talk about the Rays in their lineup. Remember, they're missing a couple of key pieces. Josh Lowe is out right now, and Ha-Seong Kim, who they signed to a nice contract. He's on the IL as well.
One of their biggest in their organization's history, so they're hoping that he's able to come back and hit the ground running, not only defensively but offensively as well. Magnum not in the lineup tonight. Someone that's really hit the ground running. They have some talented rookies that are going to be impactful for the next couple of years, which is the business model for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Hit hard. That one almost took the glove off of Simeon. That's a loud out.
Well, you're seeing the bat speed and the power.
That's 109 off the bat.
Listen, I've given up a lot of missiles like that, so I'm glad they didn't have StatCast too much when I was pitching back then, but you're seeing the plate coverage and the strength of Caminero. And that ball was hitting the label. He didn't really barrel it. You know, that ball is in the label, but you're seeing the strength, and that ball is almost in right field, and thank God Marcus got some ups.
All right. We're being told that that was a torpedo bat. So
that could have been a tennis racket. That ball was still squared up.
And of course, that's taken baseball by storm. Is the new configuration of some of these bats, where they've moved weight down into the barrel, they've hollowed out the top more, and the Yankees, of course, put it on the radar of everybody. But it's been in the game a little bit for the last couple of years. But 109 off the bat's pretty impressive. That's strike 3 call. Malley gets the strikeout. Let's go back to the Caminero swing.
Absolutely, gets his foot down, recognizes that. See, that contact is closer to the label than in the center of the barrel. So what you do with the torpedo bat is you're just moving the barrel down because you're hollowing the top of it. But you need information from the hitter of where he hits the ball off the bat for it to really be, you know, something that's worthwhile.
So the fact that the ball was further down the label but still was 109 off the bat, does that speak to the bat, or does it speak to Caminero, or both?
Both. Caminero is a strong individual, but all of a sudden you need the Yankees. What they did was they got enough information for Anthony Volpe and got other guys like that. Where do they hit the ball and where is their strength at on the bat? Now, if you have a torpedo bat and they haven't had enough information to go out there and validate that, then the swing and miss is going to be there, or whatever the contact on the barrel is going to vary, if you will. But Caminero's just a strong individual, so I don't care if it's a tennis racket. That ball's squared up.
All right, is that the mark on the bat that we see? Kind of looks like it.
And to me, that's still closer to the barrel, but also slid down probably 2 inches from the label as the barrel starts to widen. So all they're really doing is weight distribution of the bat.
Boy, that's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball with good spin that kept it right at the top of the zone. Malley thought he had the punch out. Morel is still alive. And here's the 2-2.
Ooh, I want that one.
That was tight as well. 3-2 now.
I told CB Buckner one time, I said, we don't get paid by the hour, so we can be here all night. It's on your dime, but I need that call.
That's Brian Walsh behind home plate. 3-2. That's out. And so Malley, second walk.
Oh, that's good. What's that? The only one I wondered about was the one at the top, but it was kind of a reach back. I think those other two.
Yeah, that kind of looks like it.
Absolutely. You know, you're just sliding the barrel down, the heart of the bat, the strength of the bat down here. And so when you hollow this out, you're bringing it down here, and that's the key of it. And so, but again, Rich, maybe sometimes I hit it more off my name label. Maybe I need more strength at the end of the bat. You need all that information off the contact of the hitter. So it will vary from different hitters.
Look, and if you're watching this, you're saying, why is a pitcher telling me about hitting? I called enough of his games as a hitter to tell you that had he wanted to hit in the big leagues regularly, I think he would have been able to do it. I saw you hit not only a grand slam, but one off the scoreboard at the old Shea. So,
well, listen, I've given up enough home runs and no ball flight, as I say on the golf course. And so, you know, I've been around some of the best hitters in all of baseball, but, you know, bat to ball skills is something that's talked about with Freddie Freeman, but not enough league wide. So it doesn't matter if you have a torpedo bat or not. It's all about the player having the ability to make contact more often than not, and then you go from there to get the information you need to.
This is a big cat at the plate right now. Cameron Meisner is 6'4", 220. His first home run in the big leagues, a walk-off shot to beat the Rockies. So he's got pop, athleticism.
Good.
Fouls that one back. 27-year-old went to the University of Missouri. Last year got just a taste of the big leagues, had just 8 at-bats. That one foul back. And again, we're talking about the Rays and their home games at Steinbrenner Field. That field has the exact dimensions as Yankee Stadium, so right field is short.
Right.
And when the wind's blowing out, the ball can really jump there. Now, that's the one thing that they don't know over the course of a full season is what the wind is going to do to a major league game. They didn't have that problem at the Trop.
Because you're at a minor league-esque ballpark, and so you're seeing the scores go up in Sacramento, and I played in the PCL. That's going to be very difficult for the A's to be able to shut the opposition down. You saw what the Cubs did when they came to Sacramento. We'll see what Steinbrenner Field plays like as well once it heats up a little more in Florida. Where does the wind go, the direction? Kevin Cash talked about that with us in the meeting the first couple ball games.
He did say they were very pleased with the playing surface, the clubhouse, and the whole operation there for their first homestand. There's a sharp ground ball to second. Simeon is there on to first. Tyler Mahle through 4 scoreless innings. 4-0 Rangers.
It's time for another stage manager interview here with Kevin Cash. Zach Littell, the Rangers bats really got to him that last inning. What did you see from him there?
They were ready. I mean, he's throwing strikes, which is good. We asked all of them to throw strikes. They just had an answer that inning.
I talked to you before the game about torpedo bats. You said a couple of your guys are using them. What are your thoughts on the torpedo bat taking the baseball world by storm?
They're not working right now, so hopefully they come into play.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
All right, thank you.
I like that. I like that. Here's Adolis Garcia with Jake Berger and Josh Smith coming up. 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and that's how the Rangers have the lead. That's a high pop. And a nice play by Jansen. All right, we raided the Rangers locker room.
Right.
And actually, it was Jock Peterson's locker that we went to. So you've got one of Jock's got a regular bat and the torpedo bat.
Yeah, well, you can see right here from the top of the cup, if you can see this at home, it's cut down almost 2 inches. So what they're doing is they're moving the barrel and the weight of the bat down. Now, you see this bat right here, it's only cupped about 1 inch. So the barrel of this and the strength of it goes all the way up to here. And so you're gathering information on where the hitter likes to hit on the barrel, where he is on the label. So if he's down closer to the label, they're strengthening this more. So when the contact happens, he has more strength to fight it off.
And a lot of the discussion has been on the meat of the bat, more of it here, but also when you shift the weight from the top to here and you cup it more, the bat becomes a little more head light, which quickens bat head speed. And that's how you get, along with the mass, they think, the high velo coming off, because you get a faster bat speed, higher exit velocity, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely, you're whipping the bat a little faster, weight distribution into the hand. It's almost like putting like Paul Lo Duca used to do, putting a lot of tape at the end, so the barrel feels lighter. So, but all again, you need more information on each hitter of where he hits the ball. So you need bats and need contact to see where he is to manage the barrel.
Is there enough information yet to know?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They're pretty cool looking. They're pretty cool looking, but again, it's all about bat to ball skills and what the guys are comfortable with. But you're watching a Yankee game after that first weekend and everybody's hitting with these torpedo bats, and then all of a sudden they go up against the Zach Gallen, and it doesn't matter if they have a grenade or a torpedo bat, it's tough to hit. Yeah. So the bat to ball skill still has to be there.
Just like Kevin Cash said, they're not working right now for the Rays. Not a lot of articles on the guys that are going 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 with those torpedo bats. That's a nice bounce back inning for Littell. Just 7 pitches in a 4-0 Ranger lead.
Lauren Gardner with your Apple TV studio update. We take you out to the city of brotherly love. This game also here on Apple TV. Well, the Dodgers weren't on the board until this happened in the ninth. Tommy Edman with a 2-run shot put the Dodgers within striking distance, trying to avoid their first loss of the season. Rich, D-Train, back to you.
Well, thank you, LG. That's the team that you do some games for, so you're pretty tight with the LA crew. As Danny Jansen stands in and takes a strike. Everybody feeling like, are they ever going to lose a game? But I mean, they're firing on all cylinders, obviously.
Nah, it's just about lineup depth. You know, that's a very deep locker room offensively and as well as the staff as well.
In the air, off the bat of Danny Jansen. And Tyler Mahle has been outstanding tonight. He's into the 5th here. All right, let's do some trivia. Remember the Rangers beat the Rays way back in 2010, the ALDS, and they would clinch their first ever playoff series victory. That leads us to our weekly Syria trivia question. For an answer, just ask Siri, who was the 2010 American League Championship Series MVP?
Well,
2010. They were in the old ballpark,
Right.
which is still standing.
I love the old ballpark. This is a beautiful gym, though.
They played mostly football in the old ballpark in Arlington. The new Diggs Globe Life Field right next door. Taylor Walls bounced to second back in the 3rd. Just one hit on the night for the Rays. Walls fouls it at the plate. The bad news for the Rangers rotation tonight is that Jack Leiter is on the IL with a blister. Patrick Corbin will take the start, it sounds like Monday. The good news is, man, Tyler Mahle looks like 2021 Tyler Mahle. And fastballs up. I mean, just for perspective, this is only his 10th start since the start of 2023. With all of the injuries, the Tommy John, the rehab, tightness in the shoulder.
We talked about that all day. That fastball, because of the spin rate, plays up very well, and he seemed to be able to command that zone north to south thus far.
Johnny DeLuca now coming up. He hit a liner to 3rd for the 2nd out of the 3rd inning. Off to a nice start, though. 7 for his first 17 this year. Made the defensive play of the night with that dive in left center field.
Love this kid's makeup. Always works hard. Comes to the ballpark very early. Studies the game.
Southern California guy, Agora Hills, California, but was a Duck, an Oregon Duck in college. As you noted, a Dodger draft pick. It's tough to crack that.
Yes.
I mean, that's when you're in the minor leagues right now for the Dodgers, a trade like that can really jumpstart your major league career. And that's very similar to your career, Pat. Let's take a look, and let's do it with StatCast powered by Google Cloud at the catch.
Well, you know, anticipating the jump off the bat, his speed, his length. And I told you early in the ball game, his route running is the best. And they love him in the Dodger uniform, even when he's in the big leagues, being able to cover. And he can play all 3 outfield positions.
Oh, he looked a little tight there. Didn't he? I mean, like maybe some Pilates would help.
Nah, he's a strong individual. And I think once he gets more comfortable, you talk about the graphic.
Talking about Google Cloud there.
Little WD-40 on that Google Cloud right there.
And DeLuca strikes out. How about this Tyler Mahle guy? The right-hander has been on it tonight. answer to our weekly Siri trivia question. 2010 American League Championship Series MVP, that would be Josh Hamilton. Left-handed slugger who had a dominant performance back in 2010.
I just remember Josh Hamilton and that home run derby that he did. That show he put on. Wow.
Of course, he had a history with the Rays as well. First overall pick. That ball in the air to center off the bat of Higashioka, who had one of the big hits back in the 4-run third. Had such a smooth and easy swing.
Well, he was a strong individual. We had the same agent for a long time. Super nice guy, but his power and his hands, he was able to flick a baseball. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot, but he used a 35, 36-ounce bat, which is like swinging a human. So all he needed to do was just touch that baseball, and you knew he was going.
Zach Littell has the first out of the fifth. 9-hitter, Leody Taveras, RBI single. 5 straight hits and 4 runs back in that third inning. And the ill-fated pickoff throw by Littell when Josh Smith got on with the leadoff single, that kind of really set the whole inning in motion. And the Rays never recovered until it was 4-0. Aranda knocks it down and flips to Littell to get the out. And there's 2 outs with Simeon coming to the plate. It hasn't been the best of nights for this guy, but his story is just amazing. I mean, he was with these organizations: Seattle, the Yankees, the Twins, the Giants, Texas, and Boston as a relief pitcher mostly, and then was claimed off waivers in the 23 season by the Rays. They immediately made him a starter. They changed his entire repertoire. All the data that they used, along with the work from Kyle Snyder, turned him into a very good starting pitcher.
Well, his mechanics are very repeatable, and he doesn't mind competing within the strike zone. You know, whether it's the split finger or the slider, he can throw everything on both sides of the plate, and then his fastball plays up.
Simeon fouls that back. Yeah, so look, this is the timeline. Here's something to think about. From the end of July last year, only one major league pitcher starter had a better ERA, and that was Blake Snell. Littell was 1.79 coming into this start and gets the strikeout there. He's given up 4 in this one, and the Rays need to get going with the bats. Tyler Mahle's night is done, but man, this is encouraging to see.
Absolutely. I love the pitch mix and really the mound presence and the command. He came off a start where he struggled to fill up the strike zone, but that was not the case today. He had everything going, the slider, the split finger, and the fastball down as well as up in the zone to get swing and miss.
And that, again, the spin rate on the fastball keeps it elevated. And when you combine it with the splitter that he had tonight, that's tough as a hitter. Shawn Armstrong in the game out of the bullpen. And Armstrong gets Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, Junior Caminero.
Last year, 66 innings pitched, 66 K, so the swing and miss is there.
It's something that Kevin Cash paid particular attention to in our meeting this afternoon, because we wanted to talk about the rotation and all that. And he goes, hey, man, wait till you see our bullpen right now.
And that's why it's so critical for the Rays. When they get a lead, they don't relinquish it because they have so many arms and really different looks for Kevin Cash to be able to deploy and shut the opposition down.
That's the same with Bruce Bochy. When he talked with us today, same deal. Hey, yeah, our rotation's good, but wait till you see our bullpen. I mean, both of these teams' pens are right now really throwing well. And look, in the early season, when your starters are going 5 like Mahle is tonight, you need it, and that's how these teams have gotten off to quick starts. It's not been with the bats, it's been with rotation, and both with bullpens.
Well, both managers have experience of deploying bullpens and putting the guys in the best possible situation to be successful, and that's the key when you have to deploy 3 or more guys out of that bullpen to win a ball game.
And of course, Rays fans know this guy from 2023 when he was dominant. 52 innings, a 1.38 ERA. Diaz in the air, and it's out of play. Diaz has the only hit. That was a single back in the 3rd. Mahle with 5 strikeouts and a couple walks. Armstrong 6'2", 225. And there's strikeout number 1 for him. Your team, your players, baseball your way. Get personalized highlights, push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. From Rays to Rangers. Obviously, Armstrong fits that. Lau fights one off. The other thing Kevin Cash said today was, we need to beat these guys.
Yes.
Because we haven't had any success in this ballpark or against the Rangers in a while.
He said first it was the Kansas City Royals, and now in the back of his mind, he's talking about the Texas Rangers. And so he was looking forward to this matchup. And there's still a lot of ball game left, but there's organizations and there's teams that just have your number for whatever reason.
That one is smoked into right field for a base hit. And a 1-out single gets Caminero to the plate with a runner at first base.
Beautiful ballpark here. Smells like brisket everywhere. It's an awesome sight.
Another liner, and Seager makes the catch. Caminero barreled one up in the 4th and lined out to Simeon, and now he lines out to Seager.
And he keeps looking at that barrel like, man, when is this ball going to fall for me? But you got to stay on that level. His ability to recognize pitches mid-flight, elongate that swing, and still put the baseball with authority is impressive.
See the grimace there by Seager. Remember, he's playing with a bit of a calf issue. He's played through it. Aranda now is flied out, struck out.
No, I got you. It was going to be penalized. It was going to be on them. So if they got down to 8 or whatever, I was going to charge them with a timeout.
Ball in the dirt, and Lau's going to get to second.
Gasio trying to pick that. Usually he's been pretty good about knocking that down.
It's going as a wild pitch.
Backdoor breaking ball, never gets to his glove, and he thought the reach was going to be able to pick it clean.
And any ball that hits home plate usually skids.
Oh, it's tough to block.
Into center, Taveras is there and makes the catch. Former Rayshon Armstrong out of the pen. Little hustle. It's 4-0 Rangers. In Texas, Rays and Rangers, both teams off to good starts this season. First of a 3-game weekend series here at Globe Life Field. Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, Jock Peterson, 2, 3, 4 in the Rangers order. Zach Littell. Has a relatively low pitch count for the amount of damage. But remember, all of that happened right in the same inning.
In the third inning.
5 straight hits, the throwing error, and 4 runs. And Littell walks Corey Seager.
But the Rangers offense, they have this level of depth in their offense where they can put up crooked numbers on you if you make a mistake, a throwing error, or a free pass like that. And so, with credit Littell, he's done a good job of bearing down and saying once he got out of that inning, no more. So to try to give the Rays a shot to win this ball game.
And now Langford, who's lined out. and had a sacrifice fly back in that third on a great catch by DeLuca. In summary, both starters, certainly Mahle, a better night than Littell, aside from that one inning, and he didn't help himself with a throwing error trying to pick the leadoff man off, and then the inning got sideways on him in a hurry.
I thought the Rangers did a good job in that big inning to grind him down and make Littell throw some pitches.
End of the bat, roller up the middle. Ooh. Nice flip there. Loud at first in time, and they get the double play. That's nice stuff from a supreme defensive infielder in Taylor Walls.
That's always been the lifeblood of the Rays. They can go catch the baseball with the best of them, and they understand that that's the style of play that they have to play. So you get a ground ball like that, you got to come up with it, especially in a big situation, turning that double play. They'll find their offensive way. You know, this is still early on in the season, but right now you just have to continue to throw strikes and give your ball club a chance to win.
Joc Pederson, a nice addition here, especially against right-handed pitching. This is a guy that's won 2 World Series titles, one with the Dodgers, one with the Braves. 12th Major League season. There you go. Players who switch teams.
Good pitch.
And guys that obviously when you get to a new team you want to make a nice addition. You were in Bruce Bochy's office watching Kyle Tucker and talking about the impact he's had on the Cubs.
Absolutely. Very important to try to hit the ground running, because a lot of these teams, when they add you, they really want you to be impactful. And regardless if you're a veteran on the team or not, you want to hit the ground running, and you don't want to see your batting average to something that's not your liking.
That's up. More on Joc Pederson. Pretty nice career he's certainly put together. 7 years with the Dodgers, 4 different teams, 2-year deal with the Rangers.
He had a monster year with the Diamondbacks and really just propelled into a leadership role, but him being able to provide some power.
You know, the other thing he provides, and it occurs to me he did this successfully with the Braves, he injects some personality and some fun.
Oh, he has that, that's for sure.
Garcia at the plate. Now, we were told he's shortened his swing a little bit. That was not the short version.
Well, he, you know, he's putting himself in a hitter-friendly count. Sometimes you want to do damage. He was hunting the fastball and he got it. He just swung through it.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Littell gets through the 6th. On to the 7th, 4-0 still. Here we are on a Friday night, Apple TV Plus. Now, baseball is very different than other sports because the noise of the ballpark is unique from other sports. Dontrell loves this park because it smells like brisket. But we're going to let you listen to the crowd during this Christopher Morel at bat in this inning and just let you soak in the sights and the sounds of Globe Life Field.
Right fielder number 26, Brendan Meisner.
Try to give it a chance. I got you.
Well, the best sounds of the game in that sequence, some major league quality bat crack.
Finally, some loud contact for the Rays, and they're getting themselves going late, taking advantage of pitches over the plate. And I love that swing, especially when you're hunting the fastball. You got to be on time. Nothing worse than picking out a pitch and you're late and you foul it back off. Meisner did a good job squaring that ball up. I thought he had some good passes his last at bat. He's going to be a good player in the Tampa Bay Rays uniform.
Yeah, he's another guy that a lot of people haven't heard of. And just watching the first week, he, along with Mangum, there's some really good bats on this Rays roster. Meisner with a double, and now the Rays will try to get on the board for the first time. Infields is back. There's nobody out. Armstrong facing Danny Jansen. That ball gets to the screen. Runner coming home. Morel with a slide. Safe. Armstrong got there. Higashioka had to retrieve it, and I think that was closer than the Rays thought it would be.
Morel hustling down, getting under that tag. Very important to get on the board. As soon as he gets that, he gets his secondary lead. Higashioka did a good job of making that throw so Armstrong can receive and just reply the tag. And Armstrong did a good job of getting there and getting himself in a position to try to make that tag, but not be in the runner's way to get himself in harm's way. That's exactly how they teach us to get to home plate. Allow a lane for the runner to slide, but you've got to be able to apply that tag very quickly.
They are challenging this.
Ooh. Well, I don't think he blocked the plate, Rich. I think he understood he had to give him a lane.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're watching for foot and you're watching for glove on leg in that case. This replay review powered by Zoom. It's always tricky with the plate because it's not a raised base. So you've got to get your foot down onto the plate, the actual plate itself. And sometimes in a bang-bang play, with your foot out, your foot gets lifted. Let's see if the foot actually got the plate.
Oh, you'd have to look at that from another angle.
Call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Texas loses their challenge.
Yeah, so it was challenged by Texas. Call stands. It's a good time to challenge because it's the 7th inning too. And since it was stands, there was not enough to overturn.
I thought he was safe anyway.
I'm with you. And the important thing for the Rays, it puts Meisner at third base. Jansen still in the at bat with a count 1-0, and the infield is back. Ground ball cuts this lead down to 2. That was a wild pitch. Slow start for Jansen. He's opened the season at 0 for 14.
But one of the better defensive catchers, especially in blocking in all of baseball.
Just a ground ball is all the Rays are asking for right now. That's off the plate. Yeah, the catching, well, good behind the plate, not great at the plate. Meisner is 90 feet away. It's a 4-1 game. And a punch out. Armstrong goes up, gets Jansen. And then we'll see what Bruce Bochy's going to do here. And it looks like Bochy is on his way out and going to go to the bullpen. 4-1. We're back after this in Texas. Our Sage pitching decisions presented by Sage.
Love this sequence, and this really just set the tone. Being able to throw the fastball, forcing up in the zone, tunneling that slider down, and then changing his eyes and going back up. Now, it's not always about velo, but it's all about how your stuff plays to the hitter, and he did a sounding job today doing that.
One of the nice additions to the Rangers bullpen is this guy, Chris Martin, longtime big leaguer, 10th season. He pitched for a long time and pitched well, especially lately out of bullpens. Throw to Pine, the runner, and he's just in there. It was tight. Remember, the Rangers don't have a challenge at this point.
Chris Martin, an Arlington native, but they tried to put a play on. I love this. Trying to catch the runner napping over there at third base was Meisner. Good baseball all around.
Walls swings and misses.
Yeah, you can tell by the way Smith was moving. They called a pitch to the third base side, so it allows the catcher to get his momentum there. Try to make a good lane to throw.
That's a strike. And again, if you're the Rays, just put the ball in play with one out. The infield's back. And you got a runner standing at third base. Obviously, Martin is hunting a punch out. Martin, some really nice years with the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Braves. He was on that World Championship team. In the dirt, kicks away. They don't need a ground ball. Another wild pitch and another run. Meisner scores.
Kyle once again trying to backhand that baseball because the throw was on the plate. And so with the depth change of Chris Martin, looked like a changeup, split finger down in the zone. Absolutely, and it's tough to block when it lands right in front of that plate, but got to turn your hands over and try to block that with your chest protector.
I guarantee you if he had to do it over again.
Yeah. Because he's athletic enough, you know what I mean, to be able to get over there and knock that down. So he's going to watch the tape and say, I got to do a better job, especially with a runner at third base.
That Rangers scoreless streak for the staff ends at 26 innings. And Walls strikes out. It's not pretty, but the Rays have two. They've cut the lead in half. And here's DeLuca in the 9 spot.
Well thrown fastball by Chris Martin up in the zone, and he's done a good job over the last couple of years being able to have that arm side command.
This guy's had a long and really good run facing the youngster in Johnny DeLuca. 374th career appearance out of a major league bullpen. And yeah, he's big, 6'8", 224. You noted he's come back home, native of Arlington High School. And then McLennan Community College in Waco. Little looper, and it's going to fall into right center field. And Johnny DeLuca with good speed at first. And 2 outs. It brings up Yandy Diaz. We talked about the Rays and their running game. It's something they do, and they do well. They're 8 of 9 so far this year. And the Rangers in stopping the running game.
Well, first of all, you have to be able to receive the ball to be able to get a chance to be able to throw the runner out. And so,
but you're down 2 runs. There are 2 outs. And you got a great contact guy in Diaz at the plate. He fouls it back.
And he tried to tie that ball game with that pass. He's done a good job of seeing a lot of pitchers from the Rangers today.
Slow start for him. 5 hits and 29 at bats. You see the Rays 178 stolen bases last year. Busted bat, rolls to Seager, sweeps it over to Simeon, and the inning is over. Messy one for the Rangers. 2 wild pitches, played 2 runs. It's 4-2. MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, official source for your favorite gear. Rays and Rangers. Little Matt Moore appearance. Evo.
Evo, the nasty.
Well, I mean, this is really an interesting start here from Zach Littell. He got knocked around in the third inning. Other than that, he's been terrific. So here he is, 6 innings in. He's only thrown 67 pitches.
And all 5 hits happened consecutively. So, you know, that one bad inning got away from him. But this guy's a frontline ace. And Kevin Cash trusts him to go deep in ball games. And so sometimes your best option is on the mound currently, and so I love that they're leaning on him to be like, hey man, we're gonna lean on you to keep this game intact and giving us a shot.
And again, we talked about his career before the Rays and just what a significant jump. Once he arrived, they put him in the starting rotation. He was a reliever, and obviously Eric Neander, the brilliant president of baseball operations, saw something with him. The data people, the Rays are so good in their front office, not just player scouting for draft, but development, scouting a guy that's been released. You see something that he does well. And look, as Kevin Cash said, the thing that we do best is we find the skill set that the player is best suited for and put him in the position to use that skill set. And Littell, once he kind of tossed the fastball aside and went slider, split, and sinker. Man, he's been such a good starter for them.
You know what? Kevin Cash said they invest in people. And so they understand they can't miss on anybody. So there's an urgency in that organization to get everyone right. And the guys that they accumulate, because of their data and because of the relationships they build with the player, with the manager, they're open to make adjustments, and that's why you see year after year, regardless of the interchangeable pieces, the Rays are still competitive in a very tough division.
Jake Burger takes outside, and you know, around baseball you often hear this when they claim a guy like this off of waivers. People say to themselves, what do the Rays know that we don't know?
Right.
What do they see that we don't see? And oftentimes it's a lot. Walls whips it onto first. And we check in with Heidi Watney. Hi, Heidi.
Well, hi there, guys. You say his career turned around when he went to the Rays, and he's blossomed into one of their most reliable starters. Last year, he led the team in starts and innings, tied for the lead in wins last season. He's got a $5.72 million salary. That's the highest for any Rays pitcher. And here's an interesting fact, guys. If you combine the salaries for all 13 pitchers on the Rays active roster, it's roughly $21 million. Guess how much Jacob deGrom is making this season?
North of that.
$40 million.
Way north. That's way north, Heidi. But that, look, that the Rays do better with less than any team in baseball. There are a handful, maybe not a handful, like an armload, it feels like, of teams that have been for the last 10 years saying, we want to be just like the Rays. We want a lower payroll, and we want to do what the Rays do. And none of them have succeeded like the Rays. Josh Smith jumps on that ball, drills it to right center, and gone!
Rich, I talked about it. You love him. He's the Swiss Army knife of this organization. You can put him anywhere in the diamond, and he still provides quality at-bats offensively. Almost hits that ball 400 feet. A lot of power for a little guy.
109 off the bat. Had he had a little more launch angle, that ball would have gone a little further. That was a line drive home run. And it's a 5-2 lead. Here's Higashioka. He had the big hit that really opened things up in the third. That RBI double put himself in scoring position.
Got the fastball. That was the one mistake in that at bat. That's the only fastball I've seen Littell really to split the plate. He wanted that more down. And that ball was just barreled, and that's why you saw that flight.
Higashioka swings and misses. And Littell gets the strikeout. You would think this is Littell's last inning. Is it 76 pitches? I mean,
no one's moving around that bullpen.
Yeah, so it's your game, and so even if they lose this ball game, this type of start for Littell going out there, and I've had plenty in Miami. Hey, I'm gonna do my best to not have my manager deploy multiple guys because we still have a series to win, and so this is your job as a starting pitcher. Yeah, it didn't go your way one inning. You give up a home run late, but you still go out there and grind. And you're still at pitch 78 right now.
0-2 to the Rangers center fielder.
I remember going against the Phillies and giving up 4 runs in the first 5 batters. And ended up going to 8 innings. We lost that game 5-4, but Jim Thome came up to me and Billy Wagner the next day and said, you showed us a lot, man, because sometimes guys punt emotionally, say, well, this game is lost. And I continue to go out there and grind, and I set our team up to have a chance to have our bullpen intact and a chance to win the series.
You also measure not only pitch count here, and it's pretty low, but stressful innings. And the third was stressful. That's it, though. And a home run here by Josh Smith to stretch the lead to 5-2.
But besides that home run, Rich, that third inning seems like 2 days ago. The way he's been able to bounce back and command and be efficient.
Well, the Rays pitching coming into this was leading the American League in ERA, leading the league in home runs allowed, just 2. Pop towards the line. Caminero, foul territory, makes the catch. Littell puts in 7 innings. Josh Smith puts it in the seats. And the Rangers opening this 3-game series, a 5-2 lead. To the 8th we go. Friday Night Baseball, Apple TV Plus, sponsored in part by DQ, the official treat of MLB. Happy tastes good. Robert Garcia, lefty, comes out of Texas's bullpen. He's had a nice start to his 2025 season. They've leaned on him a bit. 4 appearances in their 7 games. So 5 appearances now in 8 games. And he's been good at 2.45 ERA. And Garcia gets a strike. Brandon Lau in the leadoff spot, Junior Caminero and Jonathan Aranda. For the Rays, who got 2 runs in the 7th, and they both scored on wild pitches. And a big swing and a miss there. Garcia has size and some movement. 6'4", 236.
Very deceptive. Kind of throws across his body, shields it with that front shoulder. And a big-time sweeping slider anywhere. He can throw 84 to 87 miles an hour.
And Garcia was born in Manteca, California. Went to high school. He grew up in Modesto in the Central Valley of California. Takes outside, pitched his college ball at UC Davis. And has kind of, bounced around in the minor leagues and almost, just kind of hung around and finds himself in a really good spot. Good sweeping breaking ball there. Drafted by the Royals. Sent to the Marlins back in 21. Off waivers, the Nationals picked him up. Up the middle into center field. Lau's got a base hit. Let's check in with Heidi.
Yeah, Robert Garcia does have an interesting road. You mentioned he was drafted by the Royals in 2017. He actually had decided to retire in 2021, having never made it above AA. He went home, he got his MBA, all set to move on from baseball. But that December, he got a call. The Miami Marlins had taken him in the Rule 5 draft, and they had a plan for him. So he decided to give it one more shot. He pitched well at AAA in 22. Finally made his MLB debut in July of 23. Last year, he appeared in 72 games for the Nationals. Then he was traded here this offseason to Texas in the deal for Nathaniel Lowe.
Well, UC Davis guys don't give up
they don't.
very easily. They usually hang in there. Hard on the ground. Seager backhand. Simeon's turn in time. That's a clean double play. And 2 outs for Robert Garcia.
See what I mean? Defensively, they made that look so easy. And there's a rhythm and a connection between the 2 up the middle. Seager backhands that. Simeon's right there behind the baseball. Understands he has enough time. Fires a strike, and that's a big out, especially late.
Not many relief pitchers have an MBA.
I don't. Encinal High School in Alameda, California, and I needed help.
Come on. You have like 5 jobs right now.
I'm a very blessed man. I'm a very blessed man. I'm tricking him, as Torrey Hunter, my big brother, likes to say. Trick him. But I work with the best.
Aranda is 0 for 3. That almost sounded like it hit Aranda. It was a double hit.
Yeah.
It may have hit the catcher's glove and then the umpire.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. We have such great sound around the plate tonight. Our audio folks have done a wonderful job. It was really cool to lay out and hear the sounds of the ballpark. And just high quality back crack.
Someone asked me today, do I miss playing? I said no, but I do miss hitting. There's nothing better than that sound off the bat when you squared up a baseball. The pitch.
Strike 3 call. Robert Garcia out of the bullpen. Good thing he hung around in the game, right? Sunday Night Soccer returns to Apple TV Plus this weekend. Messi, Inter Miami hosting Toronto FC. Coverage starts 6 Eastern with MLS Countdown on Apple TV Plus. You look good in that kit.
I like that
Inter
kit.
Miami.
I do.
Kit.
I like that kit. I had to give my daughter a jersey. She's a huge soccer fan. Super proud of her keeping up.
Hunter Biggie takes over for Zach Littell, and that was the last inning for Littell. He goes 7 innings, and who knows, tomorrow or Sunday, maybe that'll pay off resting the bullpen. Biggie's a 26-year-old, Harvard University. He's got Simeon, Seager, and Langford. Simeon, a liner, barrels that up. That's a good sign, even though it's an out, because he certainly did the same in the 3rd inning. Simeon did with that RBI single. That was the big inning in this ball game, that 4-run 3rd inning.
Well, the swing is starting to get short and compact. Sometimes he gets a little big, but he's starting to hit down on the baseball, and he's a strong enough individual to where he can still backspin that baseball out of any ballpark.
That was the question at the top of the night. Could the Rangers get Simeon and Seager going? Coming into the game, they were 6 for 43, and they both have RBI hits. We also talked about Junior Caminero. He was 0 for 3.
But Junior squared up 3 baseballs tonight, though. So, you know, I mean, that's a tough offer thus far.
It's one of the hardest things mentally about this game for hitters. They talk about you do everything right, like he has, and you're wearing an offer, and you feel good, the swing's good, but when you go to bed, you're still an offer.
But you know, in the course of 400, 500 sticks in the bats, it evens out if you continue to barrel at the baseball. Junior dot-to-ball skill seems to be elite. The power is there. Line-to-line hits are going to be there for him. So he's going to be a big-time weapon and a cornerstone guy for the foreseeable future.
Hunter Biggie out of Los Gatos High School. It's in near San Jose. It's Bay Area, South Bay.
Good baseball down there too.
Silicon Valley.
Good pitch.
And he strikes out Corey Seager.
Well, coming into this ball game, he's been in a period of 2 games, 3 innings, 3 Ks, no walks. So you're seeing Biggie's frontline stuff. And that rotation, that breaking ball with that arm action plays. A lot of hitters are going to swing over the top of that because of the arm swing. But I think this is going to be one of Kevin Cash's high leverage weapons. But it seems like everybody in that bullpen is a high leverage guy in Kevin Cash.
And again, this is a guy.
Oh.
That hits Langford right in the back.
Overthrown sinker. The ball just took off from Biggie's hand.
Certainly there's I mean, it's the first game of the series, first time they faced each other. No bad blood. He's going to run, and he's going to steal the bag. That's a little bit of revenge right there for a guy who can really scoot. Langford gets the bag after getting hit by a pitch. He's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Play the game within the game. Excellent jump off of Biggie. Almost comes off that bag. His slide was a little bit late.
Peterson fouls it back. Texas very good with runners in scoring position. 3 for 3 on the night.
Also see that Jock Peterson changed his bat. He went back to the regular bat. No more torpedo.
It's because we have his torpedo bat up here. Maybe he busted the other one. Chops a grounder to second. Lau to first. Hunter Biggie gets to the 8th. 5-2 Rangers.
How are you? Todo bien. Have a great day. Yeah, I need some power.
Mic'd up was Christopher Morel. That was key when we just listened to the sounds of the ballpark, because he was at the plate. So that's when we really had the good umpire sound.
Everybody loves talking about Christopher Morel, just who he is, and he says hello to everybody, even the opponents, and just enjoys the game of baseball.
I don't think he said hello to Luke Jackson, though, on his way to the plate. Jackson, Fort Lauderdale native, longtime major leaguer. This is his 10th season, back where he started back in 2015 with the Rangers. After the complete makeover of the Rangers bullpen, Jackson is a guy who's in here trying to save this game. With the Braves last year, Giants as well.
Pitch.
95 down low. As a closer, his closing was kind of limited to 2019 with the Braves. He had 18 saves. 3 saves so far. And they've been in tighter situations. The Rangers, who came in with 5 wins, 4 of those by 1 run. Three and 1 to Morel. Meisner and Jansen after this. Ooh, a strike and a gift. That pitch drifted in. The Rays should have a runner at first base with nobody out.
Yeah, I thought this was a good take because Morel was looking for the fastball. He was letting that go. Just a couple ball lengths off the plate.
Strike 3 called, and that one looked like it was just off the edge, and Morel's not happy.
Well, I agree with his gripe, though. It's like you're going to give him that inner half. You can't give him out, especially 2 ball lengths outer half. That's a big situation where they're looking to get a leadoff runner on.
And that comes on top of the previous pitch, which was even further inside than that one was outside. That's right on the border. Here's Meisner now, who crunched one to right, a double in the 7th. That was the Rays' only inning with runs. Morel had a hit, Meisner a double, and then things got wild, and 2 wild pitches plated both runs. Fouls that one off of Higashioka. Chance to get to 6-2 for Texas. That's a strike. Ramon DeJesus said he went around.
Jackson feels really good about that breaking ball, and he's throwing it with max effort. And so when you're trying to cover the fastball anywhere from 95 to 97, the depth change of that breaking ball, very difficult to hold up. And I felt like Meisner held up.
I did too. I think the Rays have animus about both outs at this point. Jansen, a fly ball to left. Langford, Taveras, and it's Langford, and that's the ball game. And the Texas Rangers, who are looking for a bounce-back year, have started at 6-2, and they give the Rays just their 3rd loss. And that opens a 3-game series. And in this 3-game win streak, you can see just 2 runs allowed, a 26-inning scoreless streak, which was ended tonight with the 2 wild pitches. But Bruce Bochy will take it. And I think, you know, top of the list is Tyler Mahle, who gives them a terrific start. 5 innings. He looked good. He's such a key, especially with Jack Leiter going on the IL with that blister.
Well, it was a huge start for him, especially the bounce-back start. He had a rough one commanding the strike zone. He turned the page. He competed with everything in the strike zone, the fastball and the split finger, and he pitched to contact. And when you pitch to contact and you have this talented defense, you're efficient, you get early contact, you get outs, and that's why he was successful in this start against the tough Rays.
And you saw Josh Smith walking in, Smith with a home run and a single. Had a couple of hits. That's all for the Rangers. You know, the formula sticks. Mahle gives them another quality start. The first time and a half through their rotation, they've been getting that. They get a nice inning, a big inning in the 3rd with 4 runs, and it stands up in a 5-2 win. Heidi Watney is down with Josh Smith.
Hey, Josh, you got the scoring started in the 3rd. Home run in the 7th there. Did you grab a torpedo bat tonight?
No. I said with my luck, I'll start hitting it on the barrel if I use that. So for right now, we're holding off on it.
How are you so locked in tonight?
Just made a couple adjustments the past few days. They've been working, so we're always grinding in the cage with the hitting staff, and so it's just it's a good night.
Yeah, the grinding's paying off. I've heard you ask Michael Young for advice on being a super utility player and staying ready. What did he tell you?
It's not so much I've asked him, but just watching how the way he played, the way he carries himself. He's one of those guys where people are just addicted to be around him. He's just such a good guy, clubhouse guy. I wish he was around more, but he's been just an inspiration for me for sure.
The team is 6-2, off to a hot start. Missed the playoffs last year. What's the difference with this group?
Yeah, it's early. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do. So far, our bullpen and our pitching staff's done a really good job. Bats woke up a little bit tonight, but yeah, it's a long season, so we'll see where it goes.
All right, thanks, Josh.
I appreciate you guys.
Back to you, Rich.
Nice job tonight, Heidi. Thank you. That little guy is going to be really valuable. He can play 3 infield spots, can play in the outfield. He's going to play a lot.
Well, he's always ready to play, and so when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I love his approach. He hit the first base ball opposite field, allowing the baseball to travel deep, and then showed some thunder for the home run.
On a Friday night, deep in the heart, the Rangers, a 5-2 winner over the Rays. Stick around. We're coming back to Globe Life Field after this.